Oh, hello.
Hello.
Come on in the room. Come on in the room.
Should we invite people?
Yeah. All right, we're going to invite some folks in the room.
Just send me a notification.
It did? I just think we can't have too much. We're inviting some folks in the room. We're about to have a sacred conversation. Come on in the room. Come on in the room. All right. I already see some folks coming in. Say hello. Tell us where you're from. Tell us where you're from. About to play a little music for y'all. Tell us where you're from. Hi, Ayana. Hello, everyone.
Hi, Ayana. Shaquan, hi.
Hey, Shaquan. We're so excited. We're so excited. We're so excited to be here. Hey, Kaya from Brooklyn. Do me a favor. Do me a favor, ladies. Please share this video. Share this video. It's going to be a powerful, powerful, powerful sacred conversation. Every woman needs to be a part of this conversation. Every woman. It's a sacred conversation and it's going to be a powerful one. So please, share. We are so excited to be here with y'all. We are excited. Can you tell?
Hello, author Latanya Board. Angela Doria.
Hi, Angela. Have you guys shared? Keep on sharing. Keep on sharing. We're about to start. We're about to start. Give it a couple of more seconds. Hey, Doc. Thanks for tuning. Thank you, Doc. Thank you for coming in, April. Hey, Justin.
Justin. Thank you for sharing, Justin.
Yes. Come on in the room, guys. Come on in the room. We're going to wait a few more seconds because we don't want anyone to miss a beat. This is going to be a very juicy, yet powerful sacred conversation. All right. Hey, Nance. Awesome.
Author Latanya Board is ready.
All right, author Latanya boy. All right. Well, since you all are ready, we're going to start. Hey, Cheryl.
Hello, Cheryl. Hi, Nancy. Oh, Nancy's from Boston.
Yes.
Hello, welcome.
This is amazing.
Hello, Chanel.
Hey, Chanel.
Thank you for sharing, Shaquan.
Thank you for sharing.
Hi, Blasey.
Hi, guys over there. We also have an audience from Martine's group, Faces of Uterine Fibroids. So we are so happy that they are tuned in as well. This is an amazing, amazing conversation that we're going to have. And you know what? I know you guys are in suspense. So we're going to get started. So, we're here. It's Monday night, a little bit after 9 o'clock, and you are tuned in to another episode of Sacred Conversations. And Sacred Conversations is a sacred space created to empower women, and it's a sacred space for empowered women. Because we want women to leave knowing who, what, and whose they are. And every woman is a perfect idea in the mind of God, made in the image and likeness of God, fearfully and wonderfully made. Again, thank you for tuning in. I am your host, Anjanae Booth, and as many of you know, we are going to have a sacred conversation about uterine fibroids. That's right, uterine fibroids. We are going to push the envelope tonight. And just in case many of you may not know this fact, but 90% of women, 90% of women are suffering from this condition. So the woman that you may see passing you down the street, the woman who you might see next door to you on in your floor, in your building, on the subway, she is suffering from uterine fibroids. And a lot of women are suffering in silence because they are ashamed. They don't want to talk about it, but we're here. And I am so honored to be sitting with the incomparable Martine M, the author of Faces of Uterine Fibroids. She is the author of this book, Faces of Uterine Fibroids. And I'm so grateful that she chose to take on this position to sit here with me so we can have a sacred conversation, so that we can empower women. Thank you, Martine, for coming and chilling with me in my house as we talk about this condition. So we're going to dive right in, ladies, okay? Martine M, there are many here who are listening and they may not even know what uterine fibroids is. Can you educate the women out there? What is uterine fibroids?
Well, basically, there are tumors, non-cancerous tumors, who there are in the uterus at times. They could be on the outside lining of the uterus and also hanging on the outskirt of the uterus.
So they're tumors. They're like growths on your uterus?
Yes.
Wow.
Yeah. Non-cancerous, though.
Non-cancerous, but uterine fibroids are like small or large growths on
all sizes.
Wow, on your uterus. And again, there are 90% of women walking around with these growths in their uterus. This is definitely a conversation that needs to be had, and we're having it now. So, many of you may not know this, but Martine did suffer from this condition. Martine, when did you discover that you had this condition?
Well, I went to the doctor. I always had bad periods. So when I went to the doctor, I was 19 years old then, and I was told that I did have those fibroids. Mm-hmm. But they told me basically if they don't really bother you, just leave them alone. Don't bother them. They're normally asymptomatic, so you should not have a situation with them. But I was in pain here every now and then. I kept going to the doctor back and forth. Mm-hmm. I saw a whole lot of doctors, but it all started at 19.
Wow. 19 years old.
Mm-hmm.
Wow, can you imagine being 19, walking around with growths on your uterus? Wow. How long did you live with this condition?
I spent 21 years of my life with them. Because when I went to the doctor at 19 years old, I was told that, well, in order to relieve my condition, I would have to remove my uterus, just get a hysterectomy. And I was not hearing that. I didn't think that was a choice for me. So I just kept going to the doctor, going to another doctor, another doctor, a different doctor. Just kept doing my thing. And they kept telling me the same thing. And then one day I said to myself, there must be something wrong with this. Like, I just don't believe it. I don't feel it. I don't feel that that is what is really being conveyed to me. Mm-hmm. There has to be something else out there. And I stuck to my beliefs. And I just started doing my own little research on my own, looking to see what I can take to relieve my pain. What is it out there? So I indulged into organics. Mm. And that's how I was able to, I would say, survive with all the pain that I was going through, which helped me to get up in the morning, be able to sleep a little bit comfortably at night,
Mm-hmm.
be able to go to school, be able to go to work if I needed to,
Wow.
you know, so on and so forth.
Wow. So you speak about going to school, going to work with this. How was it like living with this condition? Can you be just a little, really tell us what was the day-to-day like living with uterine fibroids?
Basically it was a disaster.
Wow.
Okay. It really was a disaster. It was heartache after heartache, embarrassment after embarrassment. There are times where I would wake up from my bed and I'm currently in a puddle of blood.
Wow.
I mean, there are times where I could be at work and an accident happens, and sometimes I wasn't fully prepared. You know, a lot of ladies I know you could identify. There are times I would be in school and I have to run out of class. And there are times where I just could not function. I could not be social. I could not just be regular like everyone else. There was always something extra about me. So.
Wow. So living with this condition is definitely uncomfortable.
Definitely uncomfortable.
Mm-hmm.
It's like you've been scorned, you know.
Yeah.
It's like something was put on you. It's a bad feeling. It's a bad feeling. There's nothing good about fibroids. I'm gonna tell you guys this. Nothing good about fibroids.
Wow. Wow. I mean, just listening to her, just listening to Martine talk about it, I'm thinking about every woman now who is suffering in silence, who they go to work and sometimes may have to leave work early, right?
Mm-hmm.
Just the embarrassment and
I mean,
all
you
that.
could be on the train. I used to take the train.
Oh my gosh.
And you could be on the bus. You know, anywhere. It's not cool at all.
Wow. All right. So in your book, you state that uterine fibroids was never an acceptable condition. It was not something that people talked about. Uterine fibroids is more like a negative stigma put on one's life rather than a blessing. Why do you believe that there is so much shame around this condition? Why aren't people really talking about it? Why is there such a hush-hush about this condition?
Well, first of all, uterine fibroids, basically, it has to do with the female reproductive system. And as females, you know that we are more so to ourselves, closed in. And talking about something related to the vagina is not really something that we would normally talk about openly, even though many do now. But talking about something that really is not beautiful per se,
Mm-hmm.
it's painful, it has a negative connotation automatically because that's just the way that it is. It's a taboo discussion. It's not something that anyone would openly talk about. And then plus, the older women who have had these situations in the past,
Mm-hmm.
they don't talk about it. They don't
That's
talk
so
about it.
true. That's so true.
You just know that they had a fibroid surgery, if you know enough of that much.
Right?
And that's it.
As a matter of fact,
They don't talk about it.
yeah, the women who have gone through it, you don't even hear that it's called fibroid.
No.
They usually just say they're going for surgery. They don't say,
Exactly.
I'm going to remove fibroids. And I understand that we may not want to talk about certain things, but I think when we keep secrets, it kind of keeps us in bondage.
Yes.
That's what I believe.
It really slows our growth.
Mm.
And then it doesn't allow us to expand.
So true.
And you feel in a way where you're just stuck. And I felt that.
Yeah.
I felt that for a while.
You know, so funny, us talking about this condition being a taboo subject, I think about the woman in the Bible who had the issue of blood, right? And I believe it was law for women who had this kind of condition. They were not allowed to be seen in public. They were not allowed. They were considered
Unclean.
unclean.
Yes.
And it's so funny, that happened thousands of years ago, but the stigma is still real. It's still fresh. That women are still silent about it. But this is a reality. This is an experience that a lot of women are going through right now.
Yes. And then not only it's a reality, I mean, every other woman, think about it, 90% are going through this, and a lot of times, because one person is not speaking, messes up for a lot of other people. So, and then when you have one person speaking, then it's kind of like, oh wow, why are you talking about that? What's wrong with you?
That's so true. Being the chosen one. But I think you are the chosen one. I know you are the chosen one. So Martine, from your own experience with uterine fibroids, what do you think is the root cause of this condition? Let's talk about the root cause. What do you think is the root cause?
Well, first of all, from a lot of different researches that I did, I noticed that uterine fibroids, the possibility is that it could be something that you inherit. Like for me, my mother had them. However, her situation was nothing compared to mine. Okay, hers was really like a little jump walk in the park compared to what I went through. However, another situation that is prevalent to the fibroids appearing in uterus is the products that we have on the market. We don't have the best products on the market. We don't have the best sanitary products on the market. They're exposed to a lot of different chemicals, a lot of a lot of the sanitary napkins or have plastic in them. They're made with confetti. It's totally garbage. Now there are studies being made where a lot of different movements are coming out, dissecting the sanitary napkin, letting you know exactly what the components are, how is it composed, how is it put together, where do they take every little part to make a whole sanitary napkin. And when you really break it down, well, we're not putting the best down there. We're really not.
So wait a second. Sanitary pads have been around for years. You're telling me that always stay free are not safe for us to be using every month?
The breakdown is that they really aren't, and there is a company out there who's actually come out and done the research through medical society altogether, and they have come out and said that, hey, what you're putting out there, what they have out there for the sanitary napkins are not the best for you. They are creating bacterial infections. So from bacterial infections, reason why we have UTIs, reason why a lot of us have fibroids, reason why a lot of us have cysts, a reason why a lot of us have endometriosis, the reason why a lot of us have uterine cancer. It gets worse.
Oh my God. You know, it's so funny. And maybe I'm being extreme right now, but what did women use back in the Stone Age days?
Stone Age days, actually they used cloth.
They used cloth with no chemicals in it.
Exactly. It was a cloth, and they washed it. They washed it, and they probably had 3, or if that much.
Not even Stone Age. I would say like our mother's age, or maybe our grandmothers.
Aunts, they
didn't use pads.
Yeah, they would use
would hand wash the cloths.
Yes.
Ladies, I don't know about y'all, but I feel like I need to transition over to the natural products. Because, I mean, our bodies are the temple. They are our temple. And I think going organic is the way.
Yes, it really is.
Wow, this is really, really a powerful conversation, y'all. Whoa. So, I mean, what about tampons?
Well, I never had the privilege of using tampons because my flow was just too much. So I couldn't do it. However, the people who have expressed to me, because I've been doing little discussion groups, and the people who have expressed to me that they do use tampons, well, they're prone to getting those type of infections that I mentioned as well. So basically they're made with the same components. I mean, if you really take a tampon and you dissect it, you're going to see that it's made of confetti. The actual plastic that is underneath there, there's not a way for you to absorb or get any air. That's one. Another thing is that the bluish, greenish on there is actually a dye. And that dye in there is basically put there on the market by a manufacturer so that you could actually bleed more. And then when you bleed more, what happens is that you have to buy more product because
Right.
you need, it's a need, it's a necessity. So they make more money on you.
Ladies, I'm really, really happy we're having this conversation because, wow, a lot of us, I wasn't aware that there were dyes in these products.
And the cotton does not absorb much either. That's the reason why when you have, I don't know how long your days are, but my days start very early in the morning. So if, let's say, I have one on from, I don't know, like 5:30 or 6 a.m., by the time 10 o'clock will come, I must definitely have to change, or else I'm going to have a problem.
Or for some before that.
Exactly. And by the time maybe after lunch or during lunch, and I have to go double check if I need to change again.
Yes.
And right before I go home, I have to double check if I need to change again. And then when I get home after dinner, I have to check if I need to change again. So right then and there, I think I just like use like maybe 4 or 5 pads without even finishing the day. I didn't even go to bed yet.
And some women have to use tampons and a pad.
Yeah, that's another thing.
So that's double chemicals
Exactly.
working up there on our precious vajayjays. Yes, I said it. Our precious vajayjays. And you know, sometimes we think just keeping abstaining from sex is a way of protecting the vajayjay, but what about these products that we're using during our menstrual cycles, ladies?
Let me tell you, with uterine fibroids, I'm gonna tell you guys, lady, sex is not good. Okay?
Wow.
Sex is no good. You can't perform properly. How are you gonna perform?
Is it because we're bleeding a lot?
It's just, no, it's the position of the actual fibroids, the localization, because you are not comfortable and you feel like there's something there. If it's too far down, you're gonna feel it. You feel it. So it's not going to be comfortable for you. And it's not going to be comfortable for him either.
Can we feel it?
Of course. What is that?
Oh my God, ladies! No, this is good. This is good. I'm glad. We're not going to push the envelope, guys. We have to. Who else is going to talk about this? Wow. So, women who are out there listening and you're suffering, we are here to empower you. This conversation has, if you think it's juicy, it's going to get even juicier because we're here to really empower you and to let you know that you don't have to suffer in silence, that there's a way out. You don't have to stay in this condition for too long. You don't. Like the woman with the issue of blood, she had reached a point in her life where she was like, you know what, I can't take this anymore. She was suffering for 18 years. Martine for 21.
Yeah, 21.
So how many other women? How many other women? Wow. This is really, really a powerful conversation. All right, so we have reached the segment in our show where we're going to have a little break. We're going to play some music. Thank you all for sticking with us. Please let us know if we're doing well, if you can hear us. And if you have any questions, please post them now. You know, if we have time, we're going to pick 1 or 2 questions to answer. But again, this is Sacred Conversations, and we're having a sacred conversation about uterine fibroids. Yes.
Okay, I want to take the time to say hello to a few people in the room here.
All right.
Faces of Uterine Fibroids. Hi, Yolanda. Hi, Badsy.
Hello.
Hi, Joy. Ayana. Keisha. Adama. Hi. Keish. Leah. Hello, everyone.
Hey, let's see who's
Yeah,
here.
she could hear us. So, let me see what...
We got some questions. Hey,
Oh,
Lester.
yes. Keish has a comment and said that her friend went for surgery here, and hers was as big as a baby. Yes, that can happen. That can happen. You can have a fibroid that's like 8 pounds, even more. Yeah, it can happen. I'm just thank God that mine was not at that capacity.
Wow.
But those possibilities are right. Yes, that could happen.
Wow. Did y'all hear that? Oh my God. Hey, Lisa.
Yeah, I never use tampons either, Leah. I don't know how that works.
Hi, Lisa.
Okay, Leah used to have a fibroid situation as well, but she had a hysterectomy, so she doesn't get a period.
Okay. You got to do what you feel is right for you, ladies.
Absolutely.
Whatever decision you make, as long as you are at peace with it, right, Martine?
Definitely. You have to make a decision that suits for you. That's why, like, it's really important when you go to the doctors. The questions that you need to ask is, okay, if I do have this, then where are they located? That's what you need to ask. You want to know where they're located. You want to know the size. And you also want to know, basically, for yourself, where you want to be in your life. What would you like to do? Do you want to conceive one day? Would you like to create a family? If those are questions that you're constantly thinking about, then it's something that you need to revisit for yourself. And that is something that I did revisit many times for myself. And that's the reason why I was just like, no. Every time, I mean, I heard hysterectomy a lot of times. Wow. You know, for 21 years I was hearing it.
And you heard it at 19?
Yeah. The first time I heard it was 19. And I was just like, no, I don't think so. So those are the things that you need to keep in mind, and that will help you. And then find a doctor who's actually going to really be into what you want to do for yourself. Make the decisions and help you out with the decisions you want to make for yourself.
Right. I was trying to reconnect over there.
Yeah, it's still on though.
It's still on?
But we just can't see it.
Okay.
It does that. I don't know why.
All right, so let's see.
It was fine for a long time.
I know.
That's Facebook failing us.
Hey, Sharazard. Thank you for tuning in.
Welcome, welcome, welcome.
Hey, sis. That's my big sis, Carol Jones.
Hi,
Simmons.
sis.
Carlos Campos.
Hi, Carlos.
Hey, Carlos. Lori Page. Oh, she said she can't hear. Who couldn't you hear?
Oh, she can't hear me?
Uh-oh.
You can't hear me?
Never really talked about it. Joanny Toro. Hey. Thanks for tuning in. KB. Melissa Castro. Vonda.
Hello, everyone. Welcome.
Hi, OB. Oh, man. Thank you, everyone, for tuning in. Please let us know if you can hear us, if we're clear.
Yeah. Anybody in the Faces of Uterine Fibroids, the connection is kind of low right now, but I believe we're coming back. I saw Lisa walk in. Keisha's still here, and we have 19 others in here putting comments. So please keep it moving. We can't see you, but I know you could hear us, and I know you possibly could see us. Oh, we're back.
Hey. Thank you for the hearts, ladies. Thank you. Thank you.
And Leah just shared that she had 3. And it was so painful. They had to go. And I hear you, sister. I really hear you, sister.
All right.
I didn't even count how many I had, because I had too many.
Wow.
It didn't matter. They just needed to come out.
Wow. All right, ladies and gentlemen, because we have some gentlemen in here.
Hello, gentlemen.
Thank you for tuning in, guys. I love it when men get involved with women issues. Even though you may not be facing the same struggles, you have women in your lives. You have sisters. You have mothers. Information, knowledge is power, right?
Yes.
And when you have an idea of what she's going through, you can support her even in an even more powerful way. So thank you, men, for tuning in and not being afraid of talking about sensitive topics like these. Again, thank you for tuning in to Sacred Conversations. For those who have just tuned in, Sacred Conversations is a sacred space to empower women, and it is a sacred space for empowered women, because we want women to know who they are and whose they are. And again, I have the pristine honor of interviewing Martine M, author of Faces of Uterine Fibroids. We're so excited to have her here. It's been such a powerful conversation. We're getting real, I would say dirty, not even dirty. We're just pushing the envelope tonight. We're talking about things that most people whisper about, but we are being bold about it tonight because it's an issue and it's a condition that we need to face. You have to face it. I think there's a hopefully I can remember the saying. It said if you don't face it, you can't fix it.
Exactly.
I think I just made that one up. I don't know. But if you don't face it, you can't fix it.
It's true.
We can't pretend like it's not there. We can't. All right? All right, so I'm going to go back to the questions. So, Martine, how did you overcome this experience? For those who are watching right now who are suffering from this condition and they're like, I don't know what to do. Can I overcome this? Let them know how you overcame.
Well, I continued with my journey, going to the doctors all the time.
Mm-hmm.
And it became more or less scary for me because I came to a point where I was getting to the tail end, pushing 40, and I'm like, wow, you know, I'm still going to the doctor. I'm like, God, you know, what you doing with me? You know? So I remember I always do my routine checkups, and even if it's not a yearly checkup, like I would always go if I felt something was unusual or pain or whatever. I just keep going to doctors. So I remember just 40 hit, and I went to a doctor. Now my primary care physician actually moved to a new practice network, a new healthcare network. So I went to this place, and as I was walking in, I remember when I looked to the left, I saw a gynecology obstetrics place, and I saw a whole bunch of names written on the door. And I was like, oh wow, you know, they have like a gyno place here. I said, oh, that's interesting. And I said, you know, I should walk in there one day just to talk to the receptionist and ask her a few questions. So I went in and I went out, and then the next day I had to go back to the doctor. And after my visit, I said, let me go to that office. So I went to that office, and I said to the receptionist, I said, I see a whole bunch of names listed right here on the door. Actually, if you were a patient, who would you see listed on this door? You know.
Good question to ask.
So she said to me, actually, they're all great, you know, but I don't know. It depends on your schedule. If you're somebody who works like 9 to 5, there is one doctor out of all of these names that has evening hours. But the only issue is that he's a male. I said, oh, okay. So I said to her, all right, so give me his card. So she gave me his card. And then I said, give me 2 other names that you would actually see in here if you were to come to the doctor. So she gave me 2 other names. So the 2 other names were women, and I had the one male doctor. So I ran out, and I said, okay. I read all the names. I said, okay, no problem. And I went home that night. I read all the names. I prayed on them. I meditated on all of those names. And I went to sleep.
Prayer and meditation, y'all. Prayer and meditation.
I gave God all of those 3 names, and I went to sleep. And that morning, when I woke up, God literally said to me, go see that man. I've never decided to go see a man before. Can you imagine?
Wow.
But then it was so loud and clear to me that I said, what the heck? I'm going. And that's how the journey started for me to make things change in my life. So when I went to the doctor, I saw the man. And first of all, before he even examined me, I explained to him the way that I was feeling. Forget about the pain part, but I was explaining to him how I feel as a person. How I feel that where I am right now, I feel like doors are closing on me. Like I feel like I don't really know whether I have options or not.
Wow.
I feel like I'm at a tail end of my life. I feel like I don't have anywhere to turn. And then he started asking me more in-depth questions. So from my age, he started asking me, would you like to have children? Is that a possibility for you? And I said, of course. He said to me, well, you're not married. I said, no. He said to me, do you have somebody? I said, yes. Lo and behold, I had nobody in my life, but
faith.
I said, yes, I have somebody. He says, you sure? And he says, well, let me tell you the other options. You know, there are a lot of different ways that you can conceive. I said, yeah, tell me all of them. You know, tell me all of them. Talked about in vitro. He talked about everything to me. And then he says, well, just in case you don't have anybody in your life. And I say, yes, yes. Everything, I just took it in. Yes, yes, yes. And I took all that information, and he said to me, listen, then now, let's go to the exam room.
Mm-hmm.
So we went to the exam room. When he checked me, he said, this situation is bad. It's very bad. And he says, listen, this is what we're going to have to do. We're going to have to move in further and be more specific with what's going on with you. Yeah, we know that you're lethargic. We know that you have low iron. It's evident that you're anemic. We know that you have multiple fibroids, because he said I could feel them.
Wow.
But we need to get more specific. So he recommended for me to go get an MRI of the pelvis as well as the abdomen. And he said the reason why I'm sending you to get this test done is because the picture will tell him exactly where they're located, the size, and he will know exactly how to go about as soon as he sees the picture. So he needs that picture. Without that picture, he will not be able to make any recommendations to me as to what's the best treatment for me or whatever it is. But then he did explain to me all the possible treatments that are available from A to Z, as if I didn't know already, which was really great because it was a full 45 minutes, the very first time in my life, a full 45 minutes consultation, and plus it was education from a male doctor. And I never experienced that before.
So there were endless possibilities to the different treatments you could take. So for the ladies out there, my viewers who are watching, and you feel like there's only one option out there for you, this is not true. The truth is there are endless possibilities. There are different avenues and treatments that you can take to deal with this condition. You don't have to be afraid.
The options actually are really based on how early the discovery is made. The earlier the better.
Okay.
And also knowing what you want to do with your life. I mean, you, the only person who could tell how you want to move forward. You know, for some people it doesn't really matter. It's okay for them to take out their uterus. And for some people it works really well. But for some, it really doesn't. So you have to know exactly what you really want to do with yourself.
Yeah, because I mean, for the 20, the 19-year-old, the 21-year-old, that's probably one of the reasons why they don't even want to go to the doctor, because they don't want to hear about.
And at the same time, you don't want to choose a treatment that is going to deprive you from conception. You have some treatments out there. They may be non-invasive treatments, but at the same time, when your time comes for you to conceive, you have difficulties because the treatment that you had pretty much kind of breaks down the possibility for you to actually have a child or get to that point to really become pregnant. So you have to be really careful as to what you decide and where they are located and how the size of them.
And prayer and meditation. I love that, Martine.
It works.
Prayer and meditation. Listen, take time out to really sit and listen to the voice of God. The voice of God will tell you what to do. I don't care who you are. I don't care where you're from. If you sit and you ask God what to do, God will give you the answer. All right. So, Martine, in your book, you mentioned, right, because you did do the surgery.
Yes.
Right? Tell us a little bit about you making that decision and how the day was of your surgery. Tell me a little bit about that.
First of all, I could not wait for the day of my surgery. It was a countdown for me, number one. It was my very first surgery in my whole entire life. But I could not wait for it because it was the first time that I knew for sure that I was reaching the day of my deliverance. I was reaching a new open door.
Wow.
I was reaching a new possibility. I was at a point where I'm like, wow, I feel like I can live. I just need that date to get there. And so I don't have an issue telling people that date, because it was the day of commencement for me. You know, a day not only for, it was a day of commencement for me, but it was a day also of death for me as well. And that death was put away everything that I've gone through in my life, whether it be relationship, you know, love relationships, school, work, all the heartache, all the crying, all the anxiety, depression, emotional distress, you name it, the confusion, you know, all the bad words, all that was holding me down and really weighing me down. Like, that was the last day that I had to carry it and just move into a brand new day with a brand new opening, with a brand new start of a brand new journey.
And I love the way you're flowing right now, but before I let you continue, Martine made a decision to have surgery, and there are a lot of women who are still waiting for God to heal them, and they're just sitting and waiting. And I'm not saying that's bad, but surgery is another form of healing.
Right.
God has given man the intellect, the knowledge to be able to open us up, to go inside and take out what needs to be taken out. Surgery is another form of healing. And as Martine said, that was her day of commencement. That's powerful.
Yes. And the thing about it is that when you reach a point in your life where you're being told one thing, and then all of a sudden you have just one person takes the time to speak to you like you're their child.
Oh my God.
Like, they really, you see that they really care for you. They're really in tune with you, and they're really at a point where it's like, you got to get this done or else things are not going to be great for you. Then it's like, okay, I'm really attentive to this. I'm really into this, because first time in my life I was hearing something different. I mean, for a doctor to take the time to be in an office with me 45 minutes, I mean, I've been going to the doctor since I was born.
Wow.
You know, and I've never spent 45 minutes at a doctor's office, you know, unless it probably was in a waiting room, not me being in there.
That's so true.
Being in consultation.
You'll wait for 45 minutes and sit with the doctor for 5 minutes.
And the consultation I was having was advisory. He was literally talking to me.
Wow.
You know, before he even went into physically examining me. So we were there for like a good hour and 30 minutes.
That's amazing.
And that was my first visit with this doctor.
That's amazing. I don't see anyone commenting, so I just want to make sure you guys are still on. Let me know that you're still here. Just raise your hand. Show us some hearts. Let us know that you're still on. We want to make sure you're still on, because this is really a powerful, powerful, powerful conversation. I think, you know what, you guys are probably you're like listening to every word that she's saying, because listen, I know this rings true for a lot of people, and they've experienced it or are experiencing it. Okay, I see some lights, so we're doing good. We're doing good. So, Martine, you decide to do the surgery. You're there. And I noticed in your book, you say, while I was in recovery, I had many spiritual visitations. You say, I believe and know that God and my ancestors were all present at my surgery, assisting and making sure that all goes well. All of the visitations revealed to me that I was not alone. That is so beautiful. Martine, tell us about one of your spiritual visitation experiences.
Well, altogether, I constantly spoke to God all through, from day one, rolling into the surgery, being in a recovery room, and then coming home, being in the hospital and then coming home. I was constantly speaking to God. But before that, I made sure that I really communicated with everyone who has passed on. One person was my dad. My dad passed away 3 months after my birth, so my communication is, he's always been my angel. That's the way we communicate. So I said, hey Dad, you know, I'm going to have surgery. I need you to be there. I know you're going to be there anyway, but I'm just like reinstating it out there, so I know the confirmation for me is that I feel comfortable with it. My grandmother, my great-grandmother, my aunts who passed, anyone who was caring and cherishing my life when they were there with me, I know I communicate with each and every one of them, and I said that I need all you guys to be present with me together with God, because I need the whole tribe. I mean, I'm going through something where I need support, and it's new to me, and I want everything to go just the way it's supposed to go.
Wow.
And I just put it out there.
And you felt it, didn't you?
And I felt it. And let me tell you, all through my recovery, I was getting all of those visitations. They were right there with me. Right there with me. It was amazing.
That's beautiful. And I mean, for the ladies who are listening that are contemplating surgery and you're feeling like, well, who's going to support me? Who's going to be there? Pray.
Yeah.
Call on God. Call on your ancestors. There are spiritual hosts, angels, encamping around you. They will be there. You will not be alone. You are not alone. Okay? Please always remember that. So Martine, what made you decide to share your story with the world?
Well, it was interesting. While I was in recovery, this time I was at home, and it was just the weekend coming towards Thanksgiving, and I wanted to express my gratitude. So what I did is that I posted on my Facebook page that I just came off surgery. I had a picture of the fibroids there, and I posted, and nobody really knew that I was going through that, so I got an overflow of comments.
Wow.
There were great comments. However, there was one comment that was not so favorable. It was more like, why did you post that? Like, that's ugly. You know, I wouldn't be talking about that. You know, what was the point? So I remember I'm actually in recovery. It was just like a couple of days from surgery, and I couldn't walk. I couldn't do anything, and I said to myself, I'm in bed, and I'm like, wow, that's really cool. Like, Thanksgiving is gonna be like 2 days, and I said, that's kind of interesting. And they're like, when they said that it was ugly, it stayed with me. It really stayed with me. And one thing I want to let you guys know, ladies, when you're going through anything related to the uterus, for women, you know, we go through anxiety and depression on and off. We go through our emotions on and off. We are emotional beings, regardless, whether you like it or not. That's just our composition. That's just the way we are. So, of course, yeah, I cried about it. I was uncomfortable about it. I was even upset about it. And at that moment in time, being in recovery, feeling that way is not a good thing for you, because you are in a healing process. Your body needs to heal, and your wound needs to heal. Everything needs to heal, from top to bottom. So being in that state, I realized that I did get upset, but my upset was internal. It really wasn't coming on the outside. And me being someone who basically is not like you know, so boastful out there, going out and really having to speak back to people in reference to what they said exactly to me. I kind of slept in it, and it stayed with me. It stayed with me. It stayed with me. So that one day, like 2 days later, after that one disastrous day, I said to myself, listen, I said, God, this is exactly the comment I was told, and I don't know what it's all about, but at this point, I'm going to leave it up to you, because I don't even understand it. And I just left it like that. I just left it like that. And sure enough, the following time, God said, listen, don't let that bother you.
Right.
Don't let that bother you. Only thing you're going to do, you're going to put faces to them. put faces to them.
Mm.
Show people who they are.
Yes.
Because all of those fibroids, that ugly picture, they have faces.
Wow.
And they look like something that's really beautiful if you look at everybody's face. And I said, like, to myself, like, whoa, that was really deep.
That's heavy.
Okay, that's really deep.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, honestly, if I were to sit down and think about a name, I would never come up with this name. Never. Okay? I would never come up with this name. So when the message came to me, I said, okay, and I wrote it down. And I actually wrote down Faces of Uterine Fibroids.
Wow.
In my journal, and I just left it like that. And every now and then I kept saying, Faces of Uterine Fibroids, Faces of Uterine Fibroids, Faces of Uterine Fibroids. And the more I said it to myself while I was in recovery, I could, like, I would look in the mirror and I'm like, wow, Faces of Uterine Fibroids.
Come on through here.
I'm a face of uterine fibroids.
Yes.
And I'm like, I'm actually a face of uterine fibroids. Like, I went through this situation. This
Mm-hmm.
is 21 years of my life
Mm-hmm.
that I was going through this. So think about it. What about the other people who are going through this?
Mm-hmm.
How many other faces have gone through this and not speaking?
My.
And it was funny that when I did post, and the people who made, who had very powerful, nice comments, there were a lot of people who were inboxing me. My inbox was full to the max.
Wow.
I was actually responding to messages. And one person said, call me. Now, call me, please call me. So I called that person. And it was one of them was my girlfriend that I knew for a long time, like childhood, okay? 9 years old. And she said to me, girl, you are so not alone. You just don't know. I had this surgery. Not only I had this surgery, I had also had a hysterectomy.
Wow.
And she said to me, I know what you're going through. Right then and there, I was stuck. Because it's somebody that you know for a while. And you don't know that they went through that. So I said to myself, how many other people that I know of that have possibly gone through that who is not speaking because it's not an issue that women normally would take upon themselves to talk about.
Right.
So a few other women identified themselves. And then afterwards I said, oh wow, this is really, really something.
Mm-hmm.
And the more and more, like, I get people were liking my posts, the more it was coming up. And the more I was getting messages in my inbox. And one person said to me, you should write a book. And I said, yeah, okay. You know, and they said they knew I was a writer already. So they said, you should write a book on that. I'm looking forward to that. I said, okay. So I wrote that, you know. But it was funny how more and more people were coming out of the closet, per se.
Mm-hmm.
Coming out and saying, I got that too. I had
Coming
that
out of
too.
hiding.
Yes. And saying that I went through that. But I guess in my circle, I was the only one who was bold enough to say, boom, this is what I went through. And it only happened out of gratitude, because I wanted to be very thankful for something happening to me that I never thought I would ever see that day. Like, it wasn't a possibility for me. I did not think that I would ever see the day of my deliverance, not in that form. So.
And I love that in her book, in Martine's book, for her chapter, the title is The Day of My Deliverance. Every time I see that, I get goosebumps. I get goosebumps. She's a walking, living miracle powerhouse. And you know what? We're grateful, although it was an ugly situation, I'm grateful that she went through it, because that's why she's here today, to empower all of you who are listening. Martine's book includes 3 other fibroid warriors. There are 3 other stories of women who overcame fibroids. How did you connect with these women?
Well, I also, while I was in recovery, I did some research where I found some support groups that I did join. And when I was in the support group, you know, I was reading a lot of people's stories, and then one time I decided to share my story. Now, you know, everybody has a story, right? So every story is personal to everyone. But the thing about it, when I explained that, oh, you know, I've been suffering with fibroids for 21 years, and I just had surgery.
Mm-hmm.
Everybody was so in tune to me because it saw 21 years. Like, how is that? Some people were like, oh, 4 years, 3 years, 2 years, 6 years. But I didn't think I saw something like 10 years. But then I came out with 21 years. Everybody was like,
yup. You beat the woman in the Bible. She had 18.
How is that? How is that? So every single time, like, I would make a comment or something, everybody would just, like, turn over.
It's a long time to carry that.
So they wanted to know more. They wanted to know more.
Mm-hmm.
And it's like they would ask another question, another question, another question. So I was just, like, responding. And that was part of my healing process. I'm very thankful for it. So from there, indirectly, I ended up coaching people.
Wow.
In my recovery.
Wow.
Without even really, like, it wasn't until everything was done. I said, I coached people, I consulted people while I was in recovery.
Wow.
I made friends.
You have a ministry going on.
Exactly. This is my ministry.
Yes.
This is my women's
You
ministry.
have a ministry going on right here, right now.
So I met one person
Mm-hmm.
I connected with and said that, oh, she would like to write a book with me. And so she came on board.
Mm-hmm.
One other person was my girlfriend.
Mm-hmm.
One person actually who wrote the foreword is somebody on my Facebook.
Mm-hmm.
And it was really funny. 2 days before I went into surgery, she posted a personal share.
Wow.
And when she posted a personal share, she expressed how she was having difficulty having children. And when she got examined, she couldn't conceive. So when she got examined, the doctor expressed to her that she had 32 fibroids. 32 fibroids. 32 fibroids. And when the doctor said that to her, that she needed to have surgery, she was like, wow, okay. She went into surgery. So after everything, she went into surgery, and then sure enough, she conceived. Now she has a boy and a girl.
Look at that.
So that was 2 days before my surgery. I read that. And I remember when I read it, I was bawling. I was just constantly crying.
I love it.
Crying. But then I said to myself, oh my goodness. I'm looking at this person, and this person is just like, to me, so up to par, and everything is perfect. Everything is like so well and good. And I'm looking out all the Facebook lives, and I'm saying to myself, that person had 32 fibroids.
32 fibroids.
Now I know at that time, like I've gone through a mass of fibroids because I've had them for so long. However, I did a lot of organic treatments, experimenting here with herbs and so on and so forth. So many of them disintegrated for me.
Okay.
So when my surgery came up, I was not in that 32 fibroid situation.
Right.
But the difficulty for me is that I had fibroids who were inside, indented into my uterus as if I was pregnant. And I could not get rid of those, no matter how many different things I tried to take. They were not going away. Everything on the outside, on the outskirt of the uterus, they all vanished. But the ones that, if any was on my Facebook, saw the picture, well, they were inside my uterus.
And they were internal and attached.
Yeah, like a baby. And they had to fight to cut them off, and get rid of them.
Some things you have to cut open.
So I remember that while I was pretty much done with my recovery, and I said to myself, well, I need to reach out to her to let her know. So I reached out to her to thank her first of all for putting out that personal share, and her not knowing exactly the impact that she left on me was so positive.
Wow.
And how it really gave me a sense of hope. And my first sense of hope, courage, and inspiration was from her. And that's why I chose her to do my forward.
Wow. So do you see how powerful sharing is? Again, a lot of us, we like to keep things inside because we don't want to be judged. But you never know who you will set free by sharing the things that you have overcome. The Bible says we overcome by the power of our testimonies. Share. Do not keep it to yourself. Somebody needs to hear your story. All right. Also, in your book, Martine, you said something very powerful. You said our issues need to be addressed, right? There needs to be an awareness of uterine fibroids. This is a must in the schools, especially all girls schools. Why can't this condition be discussed like any other condition? What is the problem? We all are about the vagina, right? We all about the vajayjay, right? So why can't we talk about an alarming, concerning condition of the uterus? Well, now the time has come. Martine, why do you think it's so important for us to talk about this in the schools?
Well, the thing about it is that, I mean, it's something that all women go through. First of all, we have our periods very early nowadays because the things that we eat on the market are just like bouncing our hormones all over the
So
place.
true.
I mean, we have people who are having their first menstrual cycle at the age of 9.
Yes.
That's elementary school. That's not even high school.
Mm-hmm.
Now, I had it at 11. Okay? So, back then, it was still a taboo situation, even worse, to talk about anything related to that. You know, sometimes they don't even tell you anything related to your menstrual cycle. It's like, okay, that's what happened. All right, here it is. Put that on, and this is what you're going to have to use every month.
And that's it.
And that's it. And you just do it because that's what you're supposed to do. That's what you're told to do.
That's all we're told.
You don't know exactly the reasons why. Forget about dissecting a napkin. That's not part of us, you know. So it's just like you do things by routine.
Yes.
You know, and at the same time, it's like, oh, you're going through that. Well, you're having a bad time, then just go to bed, have some tea, relax, and then you seclude yourself. And we seclude ourselves just because it's
that time of the month. We don't go out. You don't go out. You notice, ladies?
We don't want to talk to people. It's that time of the month.
You don't want to talk to nobody.
Your boyfriend calls you. Oh, I'm tired. Oh my God, I can't talk right now.
Nah, you can't come over today.
Exactly. Come next week.
Right.
You know, it's just a whole bunch of stuff. So I said that it's an education that needs to be discussed because a lot of women go through this.
90%.
Too many women are going through this. I mean, we have biology class. We should have women health forum classes. We should have activities in schools. So like that, girls could know exactly where they're at.
Yes.
You know, with the situation. I mean, I went to all-girls school and I loved it. But we didn't talk about
the vajayjay.
No,
in depth,
not
like
in
that.
Depth. We should have a day for women reproductive.
I agree.
Women reproductive health. Why not?
We're the ones who keep life going. Keep life going.
We're the center of a lot of things.
Yes, we are.
Okay, the pillars.
Okay, and we're coming to the end of this interview. In the ending parts of your book, you say this. Actually, no. You mentioned this anthology, right? Because this book, Faces of Fibroids, show them again. It's an anthology, y'all. Martine says this anthology is about women supporting women. It's a movement of enlightenment and encouragement to be a solution for yourself and others. Martine, with this movement that you have started, where do you see it going in the next 5 years?
In the next 5 years, my heartfelt soul desire is for women to hold discussions in reference to uterine fibroids. For it to be something that's open.
Yes.
For it to be something that we all can talk about and not be ashamed of.
Yes.
For us to just have live discussion groups, man, why not? We have Facebook Live about a lot of different things. We should have Facebook Live about uterine fibroids. We should go to have support groups where we sit down. Just like same way we got AA groups, or we need uterine fibroid groups.
Yes.
Okay? We got, people with addictions. Well, we need fibroid groups.
I agree.
Or even if you don't want to call it fibroid groups, put all the female reproductive situations all together, make that a group, because let me tell you, when it comes to endometriosis, when it comes to cervical cysts, uterine cancer, endometrial cancer, this is another thing that other people don't talk about. I mean, when it comes to all of these things, fibroids, We all got issues, and none of them are really being talked about in depth. None of them at all. It's more like, yeah, I have that, or you know somebody who has that, and they keep it to themselves, and it dies off.
Yeah. And
what is that all about?
We have
the education is not rolling.
Right.
The awareness is not rolling.
Right.
And people are not grabbing onto any information. People are not sharing any information. So where are we going with it? We're not. By not speaking, we're doing each and every other person a disservice.
So true. And we can't hide this.
No.
We can't hide this anymore. We had one woman in history with Jesus, and we have another woman again who is saying, okay, she dropped the torch. I'm picking it up again because we have to deal with this. We have to heal from this. This is a movement of healing, enlightenment, and encouragement. Martine, tell our viewers how they can be a part of this movement. Where can they find you on social media?
On social media, well, I am on Facebook. I do have a public page through my author, Martine M. And I do have a personal page. I'm also on meetup.com. It's under Faces of Uterine Fibroids. There's a group where we do discussion groups. It just started this Saturday.
Great.
So we're looking to get that rolling. If anyone is interested, by all means, you're all invited. It's in the normally in the Queens and Long Island area. We do have one session where we do it at the Inspire Network headquarters in Manhattan as well. So it's just that we really need to come around all together as one force and learn from each other.
Yes.
You know, a lot of us, we are different in many different ways, but we're very similar because we all have the same issue.
Yeah. Wow. This was such
And you can find me on Amazon.
Yes, Amazon.com. Please, ladies.
Tap into the book.
Gentlemen too, if you want to be educated about the subject, don't be ashamed. You can download the ebook, or you can buy this book for your wife, your sister, ladies who are out there who are suffering in silence and you're not ready to open up about it yet. That's okay. Get this book.
I want to make it clear that my book is written for women and men. And the reason why I emphasize on men is because these stories are of hope, courage, and inspiration are very encouraging for a man to actually understand where a woman stands in the condition of uterine fibroids. For them to understand and know how to deal with a woman who is possibly going through those motions and going through the whole, you know, dilemma of uterine fibroids. And the men, honestly, by reading this book, you could really understand and really get in tune with a lady who possibly has the condition. I actually have 2 men who wrote blurbs for the book.
Wow, yeah.
Faces of Uterine Fibroids, Martine M.
Please purchase this book. Purchase this for someone that you know who's struggling with it. Purchase it. Support. This is a powerful, powerful tool, and it's going to help millions of women as it is helping them already. Well, we've come to the end of our sacred conversation. Martine, I'm so grateful for you coming out here, sharing your story, being bold enough, being the one, being the chosen one, to let the world know and let women know that they don't have to suffer anymore, that there's hope, that they too can have their day of deliverance.
Yes, it's open to everyone.
Yes.
One thing I'm going to leave you guys with is just be in tune with yourself, be in tune with your body. Always listen to yourself because your body always gives you signs. There are warning signs for everything that you go through in life. The only thing you have to do is be in tune and really listen. So if you do that, then you have a lot of other possibilities, a lot of chances, a lot of doors that can open for you. But you really have to take that time, center yourself, really grasp who you are, and just really listen to what's going on. And then speak it out.
Yes.
Your God, whoever that is, however it is, speak it out. Put it out in existence. I went into surgery with everybody. You don't have to be by yourself.
Amen. Thank you.
And thank you so much, Anna Renee, for this interview. I am so touched and so happy to have shared it with you, as well as everyone else. And thank you all the viewers.
Thank you for tuning in, guys.
And all the listeners. I really appreciate it.
Please share this video. If you haven't shared it, share it. A woman needs to hear this. A man needs to hear this.
And Faces of Uterine Fibroids on Facebook group is open to all women.
Yes.
So please allow other women to know about this group. Invite them in. No problem at all. Just let me know you're referring someone, and I'll be more than happy to accept them.
All right, guys.
Okay.
We gotta go. We love you. Thank you for tuning in.
Thank you
Have
so
a
much.
beautiful day.
It was a pleasure being with you all.
Take care.
Take care. Bye.
Bye.
Guess who's back?